Information right now. What's happening with that band?
Well, one significant thing is we have a new guitar player, Vinny Valentino. And Vinny is a New York-based guitarist that we met 2 years ago. He actually filled in for Frank Gambale. We did a European tour, and Frank, in the very last minute, couldn't make it. His mother was really in her last days. She had cancer, and he had to go back to Australia. And we found through certain Bill Evans, great saxophone player, recommended Vinny, and so Vinny filled in at the last minute and did a fantastic job. And so we've stayed in touch with him, and just was time for Frank to move into his own thing full time this last year, which is a very natural thing for jazz musicians to do. They are part of groups for a certain amount of time, but then they really need to go out and be a band leader, and it's time for Frank to do that. And so we thought of Vinny, and so we have Vinny in the band. He's doing a great job, and we're writing music together, and we have 10 new tunes. And we'll be recording a new album in December. And some of what we're doing on this tour is playing a mixture of our tunes that we've been playing for the last few years, plus working in these new tunes so we can get familiar with those before we record them. But I have 2 bands now between Jazz Legacy and Vital Information. And then a few bands that I play in as a side band, but like Steps Ahead. There's another group that I really love playing in. It's called Summit, and that's it's an Indian fusion band. And it's George Brooks is the band leader and the primary composer. He plays saxophone. Kai Eckhart is the bass player, and Fareed Haq on the guitar. And Zakir Hussain plays tabla in the group, though sometimes if he can't make it, we have somebody else play the tabla. And but that's great music and really interesting for me, and that's because I am spending a lot of time studying the Indian music now and developing that side of my drumming and mixing the Indian concepts with the drum set. And that's in some ways maybe some of the most unique things that I'm doing, because that is rather unexplored territory, this combination of Indian rhythms to U.S. drum set combination. But when I have time, when I can fit in clinics with other Indian musicians or with Western musicians that know a lot about Indian music, for instance, Pete Lockett. I don't know if you've seen Pete Lockett's website. It's a great website, PeteLockett.com, and he is an English. He's from England, but he is an incredible Indian musician, and he plays tablas. He plays some of the other South Indian drums like kanjira, and he has a great website. But he's somebody I like collaborating with, and we've played together and done some concerts together. And then Ganesh Kumar is from South India. He plays the kanjira, and he's somebody I've done some collaboration with. And he also has a very nice video out, a DVD out on how to play the kanjira. It's a little tambourine drum about this big. You play with one hand. And his website is Kanjira Ganesh. Or is it Ganesh Kanjira? But you maybe should look it up.
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think we've completed it, huh?
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been there, Dave?
He's been standing there for 30 minutes or so.
David Wilczewski, ladies and gentlemen. Original sax player with Vital Information.
Yeah.
Currently living in Stockholm.
That's something.
Cover boy.
Playboy.
What is that, OJ?
I just wanted to show it to you.
Yeah, that's cool.
How you doing?
Good.
All
All right, look at that. All right.
Dude. Oh man, you got pedals and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Good to see you.
That's how I drive my car. And
Here, get your microphone.
oh, Bigfoot nearly squashed
I
it.
have only 1.5 minutes left.
So,
Yeah, man.
Why don't you speak? Yeah.
So what is this all about? Is this promoting your new album?
Yeah, it's sort of an interview.
Mix micro.
Oh man, check it out.
So,
Well, actually, it's promoting vital information.
yeah, let's see.
Well, there's some stuff. There's some old photos actually.
Really?
Yeah, that were in, I think, in the Brocken Enterprise or something.
Oh, look at that.
Look,
With
check
Mike
that out.
Stern.
Yeah, this is some old stuff.
Where's that from?
That's from that rehearsal, Billy's rehearsal space
Oh, okay.
in someplace in Brockton, Massachusetts.
Look at that.
Back-
From the first Vital Information record.
Check that out.
The first record had David on saxophone, Tim Landers on bass, Mike Stern on guitar, and Dean Brown on guitar.
Here they are. Not pictured.
Too much.
Yeah, right.
And then Herbie Hancock,
yeah.
working with Herbie. Awesome.
At the Chips on it, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, it was like they did a review of the record in the issue before, and then they called and wanted to do an interview. So
Excellent.
yeah, man, it was nice.
You got to talk.
And it's
about
all in Swedish, so you won't understand anything.
it.
Oh man, so yeah, cool. Check you out.
Yeah.